everyone. This is Kristen Fagan with Softflex Company, and our broadcast will be starting in just a minute. I'm going to be working with some items from the Butterfly Garden collection, which is currently on sale for 20% off until tomorrow, August 17th at softflexcompany.com. I'll be using the bead mix and the Luna Moth pendant and some crimps and soft flex wire today. Hi there. Welcome. Hi, Tony. Hi, Cynthia. We're going to be creating a hand chain bracelet design. I don't know if it's called a bracelet design. Maybe it's a finger ring bracelet design. Hi, Tiffany. Tiffany says she just got her purple petals kit today and is obsessed with what she's seen so far. Haven't went through the mix yet. Her 2-year-old daughter has RSV and it's been rough. Oh, I remember my youngest had that when he was a newborn. That's tough. I think he was somewhere in the 9-month range. And yeah, that was hard. Lots of breathing treatments. So hopefully she gets well quickly and you'll get a chance to play with your beads. Relax. Hi, Lydia. Hi, Brenda. Thanks. I just kind of have it up in a bun. But I left this side out to make it look a little fancier because I just wasn't doing the hair down today. Hi, Teresa. Great to see everyone. So I don't know if you guys remember, but we created this hand chain, let's see, finger ring hand chain with the Be Kind kit and the temple link right here. I don't know how long ago. Gosh, feels like a while ago, but I don't think it was really that long. Maybe when was Be Kind? Like a month ago? Month and a half ago? Oh, Tiffany, your oldest had it. Yeah, you had to keep them apart. I know, it's tough. Luckily, he never had any other issues again, and it was just that one-time thing. Hi, Danielle and Shelly. So we are going to make another version of one of these. And it's pretty funny that I'm going to do this because after I did this one, I wasn't sure I was going to do another one because this was not easy to get all of the measurements and to get it fitting well. I think I had to restring it like 3 times, which is a lot to finally get it to a place where I was happy with it. And although it was fun, I didn't think I would do another one anytime quickly. But I decided to give another one a try. And this time I've got the Luna Moth in the middle as my, let's see if we can show it this way, as my centerpiece. And I thought that that was really pretty. I was looking at my items I had here and realized, you know, this has the one hole at the bottom and then one on each wing. And then it also has a hole at the top if you wanted to use that. But because it's got the 3 in that triangle shape, I was like, oh, this actually would be perfect for another finger ring design. So finger ring hand chain. So that's what we're going to do today. I am using the Butterfly Garden Customer Appreciation Week bead mix. I know we're down to just a handful of those left. They're currently on sale, 20% off, as is everything in our Butterfly Garden collection, including trios. Because we had trios in the Customer Appreciation Week kit. This was the Mystical Trio that was in there. So we have trios on sale too, which are always a lot of fun. We actually sold out of 2, the Trick or Treat trios and the Autumn Spice trios, because they both had our citrine color located in them, the Soft Flex Beading Wire citrine color that is now discontinued. So we were not able to replenish those. We will have a few more trios that tend to go out of stock as we lose certain colors that have been discontinued. I don't know if anyone's been following along with the blue topaz color, but blue topaz was discontinued, and we actually ran out of it, and we took down the trios that had it in there. And lo and behold, our warehouse where we have our manufactured wire sitting, we had another supply. So we ended up bringing the rest of that in, reactivating blue topaz for the time being, replenishing those trios. But now we're at the point where blue topaz is totally gone. Once we get through the stock we have in our California warehouse, then it is going to be totally discontinued again. So a lot of our favorites like Mermaid's Lagoon, Tranquility, both have, those are 2 of our favorite trios that have blue topaz in it. I think there's quite a few others. There might be like a holiday one, like a winter one, and I know there's quite a few. But anyway, so check out the trios and make a mental note. Anything that has blue topaz in it is very limited supply. So once those are gone, those are gone. And you can pick up any other of your favorite trio colors while you're at it. I think we have over 20 different combinations in there, maybe more like 25 or so. Yeah. So it's going to be a fun bracelet to make today. What else do I have to talk about before I get started? Mark your calendars so I don't forget later. I might repeat this, but just in case. On Wednesday this week at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern, we are having our next live beading party with Danielle Wicks from John Bead. And it's going to be all about knotting. So that should be a lot of fun. You can catch us on the Soft Flex Company Facebook page or the YouTube channel. It'll be Sarah and I and Danielle having a little chat, looking at some wonderful beads that John Bead had sent us and talking about knotting. So we're excited about that. Oh, Danielle's here. Hi, Danielle. Yay, so fun. Yeah, looking forward to it. Cannot wait to chat with you and learn a little bit more about knotting. It'll be a blast. So live beading parties are always fun. You can join us live. Like I said, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern. And then the replay will also be available on the Soft Flex Company Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel. So you can catch us later if you missed the live. All right, I think that's it. Oh, and we have a live sale this week, I think, too. So Thursday, we have a new live bead sale, and those now start at noon Pacific time. Thomas, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was on the calendar. So, yeah, Thursday live sale and Sunday night. All right, those are always fun, and those are only on the Facebook page, so you have to go to Soft Flex Company on Facebook to catch the live sale. All right, let's turn down to the beading table here and see what we're working with. So first, I'm just going to show you a couple of bracelets. I've been like on a super bracelet kick lately. I realized that today. I'm like, oh man, I've just been making bracelet after bracelet after bracelet. So this was the first one I made during Customer Appreciation Week with the Customer Appreciation Kit. And this uses some of the rondelles. You can't get the rondelles online any longer. They were only available in that kit. But you can definitely do this pattern, which is a macrame pattern with different beads in your stash And I used the purple Soft Flex beading wire as my base color and then the spinel as the top, and just did a square knot on this bracelet. And you can still get more of these charms, these cute butterfly charms. We are totally out of the silver. We have just a couple of the copper left. I think we've got 3 of the copper left, and I had just a few of the gold, so under 10 of the gold as well. And once these are gone, they're gone. We're not going to be getting any of those in. They were just sort of a special addition. And this had a really fun button clasp. Becky says, I love that bracelet, but don't know if I could do that. Yeah, take a look at the video from Customer Appreciation Week, Becky, or check out my macrame playlist on YouTube, because I've done a ton of macrame designs. And they're really not that difficult to do once you learn the knot. You're just repeating it all the way through. I do love my mini macrame board. I find it to be super helpful. So if you do struggle with doing macrame and you don't have like a board to work on, I highly suggest the mini macrame board. So there's one bracelet we made with Customer Appreciation beads. And then this one was another bracelet I did. Did I do this one last week? I think I did this one last Monday. And this one used the 2-hole triangle beads that came in the kit, along with all of these beads that came in the Butterfly Garden bead mix. So you can still purchase these. You can still get that bead mix, which looks like this. This is just what I have left. And you can't get the triangle ones, but you can get the 2-hole carrier beads, and they're also on sale in the Butterfly Garden collection. And you can replace these with the carrier beads if you'd like. And then this used that sweet little dragonfly button closure. And on this one, I just left the Soft Flex wire exposed. And on this one, I had put beads around for the closure. So 2 different ways to do it. I feel like when you're working with a smaller button, totally all right, that wire just sort of disappears. And you can find this design on Soft Flex Company's YouTube channel or Facebook page for the replay. So those are 2 things I made with Customer Appreciation Week items. And here again is the trios that I've been working with. This is our mystical trio, and this was the one that was in the Customer Appreciation Butterfly Garden kit. So this one's got our purple, pink tourmaline, and spinel beading wire colors in here. This is just one of probably over 20 different combinations that we have available. In this little 3-pack, you get 3 10-foot spools of Soft Flex beading wire in our medium 0.019, and they are on sale with that Butterfly Garden collection until tomorrow, August 17th at midnight Pacific time. And I'll just show you the label so you have an idea of what you're looking at. Soft Flex beading wire, medium 0.019, 10 feet. And then here is the color listed up at the top. So for today's design, I'm going to use the spinel. This one's one of my favorites. It's like a very soft red, kind of like a, I always feel like it picks up more red on the camera than in person. In person, it's almost closer to a pink. But it's kind of like a soft, maybe like a red rock color. So I'm using beads from the Butterfly Garden bead mix. I'm going to use the spinel beading wire in the 0.019 medium. I have one of these Luna Moths, which are super pretty. We have them in silver, gold, and copper. However, we are totally sold out of the silver, so we just have the gold and the copper left. Again, another item that once it's sold out, it sold out. And Tiffany is asking what she can do with silver silk. Tiffany, we're going to show some videos later on. We have to wait until closer to the end of the month, and then we'll share some ideas. But in the meantime, you can go visit Nile, our friend at Silver Silk and More, and he's got a ton of ideas of how to use silver silk. But look for some videos from us towards the end of the month pertaining to some silver silk. Thanks, Softlex Company. Nile on our blog, lots of ideas. Yeah, he's got a great YouTube channel and a great Facebook group as well to check out. So either depending on which way you like to learn, which platform. So the only thing I added from my stash are these Delica beads, and I think these are a size 8. It could possibly be a 6, but maybe they are a 6. You can see how they look here. And I just did that around the finger ring part. And so you can use anything you have. This was like the closest color I had in my stash that I felt went with it. It's called Columbine, and this was the color. I don't know what that means now, and these are very old, so I couldn't tell you where I got them. So I've had them forever. So tools, and then we'll talk a little bit about the design. So tools I've got here are a pair of flush cutters, pair of magical crimping pliers, and any crimping pliers will do, just has to be for a 2x2 millimeter crimp. I'll be using the magical crimping pliers today and show you how those work. And then this is optional, but I have this little bracelet, nylon jaw pliers bracelet rounder. And I use that to just slightly round my moth. And I'll show you how to use that. We don't sell this at Softlex Company. You'd have to pick this up from somewhere else. And it's nylon pliers with a little curve for bracelet forming. Thanks, Lydia. Lydia says, our friend over at Kelly's Bead Boutique carries seed beads. All right, so I'm going to take this off, but before I do, I wanted to show you a variation in what I did between the two of them. So on this first one, I made this finger ring portion very fitted to my finger. And this one today, I tried to make it a little bit looser. I wanted to see how it would feel. And I think I made it too loose, because if you look at the back, it's a little bit too loose and it kind of slides around in a way that isn't very comfortable now that I've been wearing it for a little while. So I think I'm going to tighten that up and not make it quite as loose. Maybe I have to add another bead here. If I do that, I'm not sure yet. So we're going to have to just wait and see. But I wanted to show you just what I did that was slightly different between the two. And I found that this was more comfortable when it was a little more fitted to my finger than when it was too loose and it kind of moved around off there too much. And then it's just got a lobster clasp in the back. I just clipped it right to the Softlex wire, but you can always add some chain or a jump ring there. If you want to add something in the back. And here is what our design looks like. And let's cut some wire. So all of these beads here along this side here, as well as right here, they are all from this bead mix, the Customer Appreciation Butterfly Garden bead mix. And this is what I have left, even after making this bracelet, because all of these in between those triangles were from here. This is what I still have left. And as you see, there's a lot of gold. I actually wish that I had a gold Luna Moth because I could have used these really nice gold spacers in here throughout my design. But I didn't. I only had it in this color here in my beading studio. So that's the color I went with. But if you pick up the mix, you may want to get the gold one to match what's going on in here. And this way you can add those gold accents. So I'm just going to cut some wire. I didn't measure this at all, but let's see how long here. Both of my side pieces here are about 3 inches. So this one and this one. And this one goes out to about 4, but it also has that loop. So I would suggest about 6 or 7 inches here, and I'm going to cut a little bit more than 3 for these. So how is everybody today? How was your weekend? I celebrated my birthday, which was on Sunday, but I celebrated Saturday and Sunday because why not? We've had some beautiful weather here in the Valley of the Sun. I'm in Phoenix area, and I think last year we broke a record of how many hot days we had. I think we were over 110. We broke some records that we had so many 110 days. And this year, I think we might break the record in the other direction. So I'm just going to cut this free so that I can restring it and show you how to attach it. And maybe I'll just leave that one on. So I'll just show you this side. Happy birthday wishes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy belated birthday. Yeah, I had a really nice birthday weekend. Lydia has been enjoying the rain. I have too. It's been so lovely. I wanted to go out on my kayak this weekend. That was one of my goals. And I originally was going to go all the way up north. But I ended up just staying in the valley because of all the rain. We've been so cool. So I'm going to show you here. This one is the Luna Moth as is, just so you can see. I just made a slight bend, like really super slight, right on the wings here. And I'm just going to bend it a little bit more even to show you how that works. So I'm going to place my moth inside. And let me make sure I'm holding my tool in the right direction. So I want it to bend that wing down ever so slightly. And you can go like, you can do it more dramatically, or you can start like I am, like kind of ever so slightly. Let me get into the screen here and just place that in there and squeeze it down. And it's just going to give it a little bit of a curve. I'm just going to do this side a little bit more too. And I just did that so that when I put it on my wrist here, I will just lay a little more curved than how you get it like that. Totally optional, not something you have to do. You can wear it just like this. But if you have one of those tools, or if you're interested in something like that, I wanted to show you how to do that. Really easy. So now I'm going to take my soft flex beading wire, put it through that little hole on the moth, string on a 2x2 millimeter crimp tube. This is in sterling silver. And we at Soft Flex Company make all of our own crimp tubes. We have them manufactured, really nice and strong. You're just going to go back through that crimp to create a loop and then pull it close to your pendant. And I like to make sure that my loops on either side are similar before I crimp. They are double the wall thickness of most on the market, and they are seamless, making them really strong and good quality crimps, which make all the difference if you've ever struggled with crimping. A lot of times it has to do with your crimps, and then also making sure that you use a pair of crimping pliers. So we sell regular crimping pliers, and then we also have these, which are called the magical crimping pliers. You would put your crimp tube right in that center notch. Give it a good squeeze. It's going to make a little ravioli shape with pinched four corners. And then you're going to put it in 90 degrees from where you had it before. Squeeze it again and go around. And it'll make like a nice rounded oval shape. They take a little bit of practice, and it's good to practice when you're not working on a project. So if you're new to those kind of pliers, grab yourself some crimps, grab the pliers, have some wire, and just play with the wire without the beads and get yourself comfortable using the tool, because it's a little more frustrating once the beads are strung, and you're also going to be a little bit harder on yourself if you don't get it figured out, because now you have to restring everything. Karen is asking, what is the name of the tool you were using for curving the moth? I don't know what the name of it is exactly, since we don't sell it, but I think it's called a bracelet bending tool. It has nylon jaw pliers, and then it has that curve. These are by Impress Art, but I do know that other companies sell similar pliers. I believe they're called bracelet bending pliers. So I would use these when I make some bangle bracelets. That's what I actually purchased it for, but it also works to curve other little things too. All right, so now I'm just going to string my pattern, which you can see there. Shelly, you're feeling exhausted. I'm sorry about that. So your daughter moved back home. I wish her well as her heart mends. I'm sure she's happy and grateful that you have allowed her to move back in while she goes through a hard time. Beverly says, perfect timing. I'm going to try using the bracelet forming tool. I'm not sure what size blank you get. I just measured my cuff and it's in under 6 inches. I'm thinking 7. Yeah, I would think 7 would be a good one too. I didn't really think about the fact that they might have different lengths. I have some bracelet. I thought they were all the same length, but You could be right. There could be different lengths. I didn't even think of that. I would think a 7-inch would be great. Lorena says, wouldn't this jewelry get caught on things and break easily? Well, it could. I don't know how easily it'll break. If you have really strong crimps in place, you should be able to kind of snag it loosely and not have any problems. But if it really got caught on something and snapped away, you know, this kind of design might do that. I don't know. This was the first time I've ever done anything like this, but I know that they are a style of bracelet that's been around for a really long time. Softlex is made, yes, with stainless steel in the core, has 49 strands, and then is micro braided. So as long as you have a good quality crimp, and I would probably suggest, if you look at this one here, like there's not a ton of space. There's some movement because you have to be able to make a fist and this still stay attached without pulling too tightly. So there is a little bit of space, but there's not an excessive amount. So I haven't had it get caught on anything yet. But could it? Possibly. It possibly could. So now I just strung out another crimp because I'm done with my beads and slid on my clasp and then put that wire back through the crimp tube. Beverly says they just came out with 7. Oh, so they have 2 sizes now? What was the size that they had before? Okay, so now I'm just taking my bracelet and wiggling it around to make sure I can get it in a nice round shape before I crimp, because you don't want to crimp it too hard and tight. That will be more likely for it to break or have some distress at the crimp. You want it to have some movement. So you will have like a little bit of space in between your last bead and your crimp, and that's good. You want that. Oh, I see. So they always had 6 inches and they just came out with 7 inches. 6-inch, I think, would be a little small, but you know, with a cuff, I guess you have that opening area, so it's not going totally around. But that might be why they came out with 7 for larger wrists, or even maybe for fitting men's wrists. All right, so that's the easy part of the bracelet, right? That's the part that's very similar to what we would normally do. And you can make this bracelet without doing this part if you wanted to, and you just wanted to have the moth. Maybe you want to put a few little dangles or something here on the end, or maybe nothing at all and just leave it like that. And you've got a really sweet little bracelet, even without adding this part. So now I've got my longer piece of wire, and I'm going to use that to redo this little area here. And I know I want to make this loop a little bit smaller. Let me measure how big I made this loop to begin with. Well, this is like 1 3/4. And then let me take off this bracelet and see what I did for this one. So this one is more like 1 1/2. So I was happier with that smaller one than I was with the larger one. We're going to start it the same way we started the other. You just slide the wire through this hole on the bottom of your moth. And then create your loop with your crimp. Just like so. So make sure to have your wires parallel coming out of your crimp. They'll be more secure that way. Just like that, so they're not crisscrossing over one another. That's one way to ensure that your crimp will be a little more secure. And then using crimping pliers are another way. I know some people like to just smash them, but for this design, I think you're going to get a little more wear and tear on it. And I would definitely use a pair of crimping pliers. We do even have a larger diameter. We have a heavy diameter. So that's another option if you're worried about strength, is using a heavier diameter. But I feel good with the medium to be strong enough. So we went to a lake called Canyon Lake here in Arizona on Saturday. And it was so nice. We went kind of late. I think we got there at like 11, and the park ranger was like, on a regular day, like we wouldn't have even been able to get in by that time. But since we've had so much rain, I think it kept people a little bit away. And so it was still, somewhat busy. It was still, but it wasn't like totally full like it normally would be on a weekend. So after you string your beads, you string on your crimp before you do your beads that are going to go around your ring. And that's because you want to have your crimp down here, then string on your beads, and then loop it back into that crimp. So I've got my bead pattern, then my crimp, and now I'm going to add my small beads, which I believe I said earlier, these are like a delica or a seed bead. And I think this is size 6 or 8. I never have things labeled properly. And because I'm not someone that uses seed beads in patterns in the traditional sense often, I really don't label them well. So my apologies for that. But really any small bead would do. I think these were about 2 millimeter in size, and these are a bit smaller. Where did that come from? So yeah, so that was a really nice treat on Saturday. We don't get to go out in nature that often during the summer, and so that was such a treat to be able to be outside and enjoying it when it's usually really, really hot. And then I got a really pretty plant, like a Monstera plant, but it's in the philodendron family. Maybe Monstera plants are in the philodendron plant family. So if you have any plant advice for how I keep it alive and happy, I am all ears. Most of my plants are like aloe and succulents and things of that nature. And I do have one other in the same kind of philodendron family that I've kept alive for a long time. So this is about an inch, so I do want to get a little bit more. So I'm just going to pull that back out of my crimp and add a few more beads. Feed me, Seymour. Yes. Feed the plant. It would be, Karen is saying, this loop that you're working on would be a nice ring or earrings with the moth as a dangle. Yeah, that would be very pretty. It does have like a nice little shimmery shine to it. Yeah, we've gotten better with feeding plants. I used to never give my plants any sort of food or fertilizer or anything like that. I just sort of let them be with sun and water, but I'm finding that, you know, they need a little help now and then. They need some food. It's always hard finding the right spot too. I feel like that always makes such a difference, the right location for it in the house. Okay, let's do another. Looks like just a couple more. Almost there. Karen says, call your neighborhood garden center. That's what I do when I'm not sure. That's smart advice. I usually just Google and then find a whole bunch of a gazillion answers. And sometimes it's very confusing as to which way you should go. So calling my local garden center is a good idea. Oh, plants like classical music, Thomas is sharing. So maybe my son Hudson needs to play to them, practice with the plants. I'll have to tell him that. What happened here? Because now this feels really big. Let's see. Bye, Tiffany. No, that's just right, I think. Okay. So before you crimp, you can take a bead stopper and put it in place here to check your size. I kind of like the minis because this is such a tight little spot. They also like 50s and 60s music, Maria says. Pavarotti. So is Pavarotti opera? Oh my gosh, my fingers are not cooperating right now. Okay, let's see if I can get it to stay. And crimp, there we go. All right, so I just put a little bead stopper there to hold my place. And I'm just gonna see how that feels when I slide that down. And I think this feels a lot better. It's still a little bit big. Maybe I will pull out just one or two. Let's take two out and then call it a day here. I think we'll be in good place. It's always nice to be able to use a bead stopper to check so you don't have to worry about your beads flying all over the place while you do a size check. And now I'm going to place my crimp inside of my crimping pliers, but I'm not going to squeeze. I'm just going to hold it in there. See how it's right in the center of that notch. And I'm going to scoot my crimp down towards my beads, just kind of get it into the right spot. And then pull that down until I feel like everything is in a good location. And then I can squeeze. Get my 4-corner ravioli, turn it 90 degrees, place it back in here. And go around. It's a little tricky with these beads right next to it, but we got it. Trim off that excess. And there we go. So let's try and put this on. And I say try because these are not the easiest for me to put on. I'm still getting used to this kind of a design. So I slide it on my finger first and then lay it there. And then I'm going to put it down on the table and position and here's where I wonder, would it be easier? I don't have one of those little bracelet helpers. I feel like those would be great right here. Or possibly a magnetic clasp would be great. Or even just adding a closed jump ring might be helpful. I usually don't close my bracelets that much on camera because they take me forever. And I'm sure you all have the same problem though. Let me pick it up and see if it's easier if I hold it. Yeah, Beverly's saying a magnet. I was thinking a magnet clasp, but I decided to just go with what was in the kit. Yay, I got it by holding it against myself so it couldn't move around. And that turned out so much better than my first version. So you see I can make my fist. You got to be able to make a fist and have this kind of go around the curve. And then you go straight. And this fits a little more snugly around my ring. That feels way more comfortable. And then there's just the simple backside. And I really like this one. I think for this one, although I still really like it, it was the 2 strands that really gave me a tougher time to get that shape correct to go around my wrist. And the 1 strand on this moth is way simpler. Really pretty, thanks. So if you don't have any little tiny beads, you can even just try leaving the wire exposed and see how that feels and have it just be the wire. Or you can check your stash and see if you've got any seed beads or teeny tiny beads that you can use just to go around. This one was a little bit bigger. I think these were about 2 millimeter and they still worked okay. Maybe you can even go up to 3. I'm not sure. You'd have to kind of try and see if it's comfortable. Karen, yeah, Karen is asking, do you still have the beginning wire kits? They are out of stock at the moment. I wonder why. Maybe there might be something in that kit we're missing. We'll have to give an email. Karen, you can always email us at info@softluxcompany.com and inquire about it, and they can take a look as to what it is we're out of stock on and let you know when they're back. So thank you all for being here with me today. Pick up some of these items from the Butterfly Garden collection. Like I said, the silver's out of stock, but you can still get this moth in copper and in gold. And really, I wish I had a gold one because I do think I would have used some of these lovely little spacers that are in the bead mix if I had a golden moth. So next time. And our trios are also on sale. So everything in the Butterfly Garden collection. We've got the bead mix. We've got all of the moths, the butterflies. We have a few of the floral buttons. Some of the new check glass buttons are in there. And the trios, you can find the trios in there all on sale, as well as a handful of red, pink, and purple gemstone beads and other beads that we threw in there as well. I think there's like 4 pages of items that are in that sale. So be sure to check that out. They end tomorrow, August 17th at midnight. And let me move you back up to me. my cute hair is flattening out a little bit from all of my bead work. And save the date for Wednesday. We've got Danielle Wicks here. Super excited about that. She's going to be talking to us about some beads from John Bead and knotting. And I'm really, really curious to see what we're going to learn about. And then we've got a live sale on Thursday, and that starts at noon now. And we do them in 2 parts. So there'll be one part. I'm not sure if it's exactly like an hour or an hour and a half. But we did move it up to start at noon Pacific time, only on the Softlex Company Facebook page. And yeah. Oh, Brenda says, love her. Oh, Danielle's still here. Hi, Danielle. I'm excited too. The live sale will be on Thursday and runs until Sunday night. Join us for the fun. There's always great, interesting items and more birthday wishes. Thanks, Brenda. And thank you all for being here with me today. I wish you have a fantastic beady week, and I will see you here again next Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific time for a new episode of Free Spirit Beading. And you'll catch me on Wednesday with Danielle at 3 p.m. Pacific time for our live beading party. So talk to you soon. Bye.